Good morning, Dr. J.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Say hey,
Good
Oreo.
morning, Oreo. We knew you was Gary coming around the corner.
You know, he's something else. He was quiet the whole time. You and I were in the back talking. And time he hear the music, he started jumping up.
Lord. And we did when we was behind the scenes before we start the show, because me and Dr. J jumps on about 30 to 45 minutes before we start the show. Today, Oreo, I was like, Dr. J, I don't hear no. She said, shh. I'm like, I did not hear nothing. Not his tags,
Nothing.
making noises, him prancing around, barking.
Nothing.
As soon as the music started, here he comes.
Yeah, he
But
does. Yeah,
yes,
he does. He
welcome to
is.
Morning Coffee with the Word.
Yes.
Dr. J, you have been missed. You have been missed.
Let me tell you guys, God has been moving. Things been going on and everything. I'm trying to, as you all know, I'm getting an apartment. Well, I got the apartment, and so having to try to work until 5 in the evening and then come home and kind of pack up some stuff. It's really getting tiring and cumbersome, with my uh, foot still being in the boot. Um, so I think the last time we talked, I was hoping that I would be able to get out of the boot. And when I went to the doctor, the other two bones have healed, but the doctor feel the bone that took the brunt of the fall, it's not healing. And so my issue is what's going against me, as he keeps telling me, is that my age, my bones are not healing as fast as, say, someone that's 20 or 15 years old. So I'm back in the boot. I'm still in the boot. And so that's, pretty cumbersome, because I have to be, I have to still be careful with it and trying to move stuff. And by the time I get home in the evening, once I fix dinner, fix me something to eat, or stop and get something to eat, I'm just really tired. So I use my Saturdays and after church on Sundays to do, the bulk of the moving. And I'm downsizing. So I've been here for 9 years. So I have 9 years worth of stuff, trying to see what I can take, what I can't take, what's necessary, what's not necessary. So it's a little bit tiring. But I'm thankful to God that He's worked everything out. The one place that I thought I was going to go, they switched up on me, so I'm not going there. But God blessed me that week, that same week that they said something else had come up, that I got another apartment, but they put me on the second floor, and I thought I was going to be okay with that. But my doctor wasn't okay with it, with me having to go up and down the steps on this foot. So God opened up another door, and they were able to get me an apartment on the first floor, and a little bit bigger than what I was going to, and paying exactly the same thing what I'm paying now. So God has been showing out. So He's been showing up and showing out. So
God be the glory.
yeah, so it's just been really kind of overwhelming, trying to move and, well, get things packed up, rather, getting things packed up, and not being able to move like I want to move, so. But it's funny because when I pack a box, I have a chair that I'm sitting on right now, that it rolls around. So that's what I pack the boxes in that chair, get them packed up, then roll it where I need it to go, push it where I need it to go, and then put it over there with the other boxes. So
That's good. I am so happy to hear that,
Yes.
Dr. J. Just take care of that leg.
I'm trying.
We're going to get through this.
Yes.
We're going to get through this.
Yes, I
I do want to say
definitely.
good morning. Good morning, prophetess. How are you this morning?
Good morning, prophetess. How are you?
Thank you for joining us. There is Amanda S.
Hey,
Uh,
Amanda. How are
good
you?
morning. There's some more viewers online. So y'all just type in good morning, good morning, good morning. Please share. Share morning coffee with the word with your friends, your family, your neighbors, your uncles, your cousins, your grandmas, your grandpas. Um, we are in the season of freezing.
Yes,
Dr. J, I can't.
Gary.
You
I
see
told
this,
you.
right? You see, I got a coat on. I got my jacket on in the
See,
house.
I'm
My
not going
family.
to sit anywhere and in a house that I gotta pay IPL or AES or whoever and wear a coat too. That's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen.
You know, I'm gonna try. I'm trying
Mm-mm.
to hold off.
Nope. I turned
It
mine on
is
this morning.
the temperature in here right now. It says it is 66 degrees.
That's the devil.
So we're trying to hold off. My family, they do not like heat. They just want it cold because we sleep good when it's cold. But
I
during the
sleep good.
day,
I sleep good when it's hot or cold.
but during the day, I can't. My bones will not move. They won't function.
Mm-mm.
But yes, it's 66 degrees in this house right now.
Oh no.
And
I woke up and mine was 68. And I was like, oh, the devil is a liar.
what you do?
But
Get it back up to 75?
no, I had it on 76. Then it got to be a little bit too hot. So then I turned it down to 73 and it's okay.
Okay. But yeah,
It's okay.
I have my jacket on. So
I'm not wearing a jacket.
I'm going to get through this. But uh, my week has been one of those blessed and challenging weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And for those that follow me on Facebook, um, everyone knows the story, but I tell a quick story because I want to make sure that all of our listeners, all of our viewers know where your monies go to. Anytime you donate to Morning Coffee with the Word or to Elevate Life, um, we give back um, and help those that are in need. On Sunday, this past Sunday, Dr. J, um, we was in-person service. For those that don't know, I run audio and video for a church here locally. We was in-person service. We do 2 in-person services every other week. And we was in-person service. And I was just sitting there and, the word was good. The word was right on point. Sitting there running audio, running video. And the Holy Spirit just fell on me and said, check your email. And if you could see my facial expression, Dr. J, I was like, check my email. Like, I'm up here running audio and video.
Mm-hmm.
I checked my email, and there was a message that came through that someone has forwarded over to me.
Mm-hmm.
And the message went like this. The title of basically, because on different apps you can add like subjects. So the subject was homeless lady. And it said, hello, neighbors. My husband just left the Speedway gas station in Brownsburg across from the Kroger. And he said the cashier was very teary-eyed and asked her what was wrong. She said that she had that she and her coworker has been trying to help this homeless lady who's been on the outside of the store for 2 days. I did not read anything else after that. I screenshot that message to my wife. I said, I cannot leave service right now, but I need you to get some clothes on, put the baby in the car. I need you to go find this lady before she leaves. Well, people at the church, they seen I was like in disarray. Dr. J, I started packing up like service was over. Service was still going on. I said, I just started putting stuff away. And I was like, I gotta go. I gotta go. So service was over. I explained to everybody when we was packing up, I was like, I gotta go. I gotta go handle some business. And I gotta pack up as fast as I can. So I packed up, went over to started heading my way over to that direction, to the Speedway gas station. And I pulled up and I met this elderly lady. Now, some of the time that when people reach out to Elevate Life or reach out to myself or reach out to Lady C, it's usually a young person. Good morning, Pops. Good morning, Bishop.
Good morning, Bishop. D-Rep.
I received a text last night. We have someone else in need. Okay. All right. We'll take care of that, Lady C. So I head over there. I end up beating Lady C over there. Because that's I was rolling, Dr. J. I mean, I had the pedal down to the metal. I was trying to, because once a homeless person's there, and then most of the time that they know there's help coming, they'll shift the location. They'll just start moving, and then you have to figure out where they went. But they didn't know I was coming, so I sat down. Dr. J. There was an elderly lady. We're just going to say that she was in her late 50s, early 60s. Any names I use is just a fictitious name to protect the identity. But she knows that I share this story with everyone. So Dr. J, I got over there. We had conversation. She was in need. The last 2 or 3 days it's been raining here, so she was sleeping outside in the rain. And when I got there, the connection, you could tell there was a connection, and she's willing to let me help. We took this young elderly lady, and Elevate Life. Basically, we put her in a hotel that Sunday night, all the way till Tuesday. So we put her up in a hotel until we could start making phone calls on Monday. Got her in a hotel, started making our contacts with other organizations out here that help the homeless, that offers different types of services out there. Monday comes, we get her, we check on her, make sure that she has food, things of that nature. And then on Tuesday was checkout. We picked her up. We did find her housing. Praise God. So she does have a roof over her head right now. She is doing outstanding. We got her services taken care of. She has clothes. She has food. Elevate Life took care of her rent for the month of the prorated month of October. We are taking care, Elevate Life will be taking care of her rent for November. She does have income coming in because she is on disability and Social Security. We are working with her on a budget. She will have a budget, how to handle her monies. We got her back on her medication because she was on blood pressure medicine. Her blood pressure medicine, Dr. J, she stopped taking for 6 months.
Wow.
When we found her, her legs were so swollen, Dr. J. It was sad. I mean, her legs were so swollen. We got her checked out at the hospital. Yesterday, because today's Saturday. Yeah. Yesterday, Dr. J, we got her connected with another organization that she will have her own place. And we're working on getting her own place by the first quarter of 2022. So I personally, on behalf of Lady C, Elevate Life, and myself, I personally want to thank each and every one of you that sowed into Elevate Life, that came out and came and dropped 50 cents, $1, whatever you could donate. I thank you for that. This is definitely the work of the Lord. When that fell on me on Sunday to check my email, I knew I had to get out there and do what the Lord told me to do. But it's been, I can tell you, the city of Brown, or not the city because we're not a city yet, the town of Brownsburg stepped up. The staff at the Speedway gas station, we thank you for everything that you've done. And just know, when you speak to the homeless and you talk to them, they have been through so much, and so many promises have been given to them. When you approach them and you let them know that you're going to be back and that you're going to do everything you can to help them get them off the street, they will just sit there and just literally stare at you because they've been lied to so many times. And that's one thing I did not want to do, was to fail her. So that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday was basically sleepless nights for me, trying to figure out what I can do to help. But I thank God that He gave us the resources to reach out to other organizations, and to the wonderful viewers, listeners, our followers for Elevate Life. I just thank you. So, yeah, Dr. J. And I've just been focused on that this whole week. So it has not really been the computer guy this week. It's been Minister Smith this week. Just doing what the Lord told me to do. So that's all I wanted to say, Dr. J. That's how my week went. If anybody knows anybody that is in need, please reach out to myself, Lady C. If anybody has any donations that they would like to give, clothing, non-perishable food items, toiletries, things of that nature, please reach out to Lady C. She handles all donations when it comes to um, the clothing, the non-perishable, the food items, baby items. We are in need of blankets. We are in need of blankets. Lady C is getting ready to hit that up for the month of November. We will be giving out blankets to the homeless. Lady C says, I received 2 emails last week. We need more. Currently working on a place to store. Okay. So we're getting ready to do a hand out blankets. So.
Good morning, Powerhouse Mobile
Good
Wash.
morning.
That's my son, Corey.
Good morning. Good morning. We still got to get him on, Dr. J.
Yeah. I'll be more focused. Let me get settled. Let me get settled because there's a couple more people that I want to bring on and talk about their small businesses and get their name out there. Just a conversation with a young man that I had the other day. So yes, we will definitely get my son Corey on of Powerhouse Mobile Wash and Detailing. Definitely get him on, and then the other young man that I spoke with as well. So Gary, let me ask you with now you said that you all got this lady a place to stay for October and November, but then you said that you have secured her a place for the first quarter of 2022. What's going to happen until that time?
So right now she is she is renting out a room from a lady that has opened her door
Okay.
and is housing her. She reached out to me. She was willing to rent her a room. Our ultimate goal is to get her own apartment or
Okay.
live in a senior community that that she has herself.
Okay. 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 All
So
right. I
that's
was
the
just
goal
curious
of
about that.
the first quarter of 2022.
Okay. Has she applied for Medicaid to see about getting her, medication, and if not free, paying very little, but she can go in and go to the doctor and different things like that?
Yes, she was already on Medicare and SSI and disability. We just got her signed up on
Okay.
third, not third, yeah, Thursday. We just got her signed up for Medicaid on Thursday, and then she just did her checkup for Medicaid yesterday
Okay.
morning. Yes.
Okay. All right. That's good.
Yes.
That is good. That is good. Wow.
Yes. But I just want everyone to know that there is some good organizations out there. Please the stories I've heard from a lot of homeless. Um, I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what you're going through. Um, if you have a family member out there that is homeless and you can't take them in, reach out to some organization to get them resources. Um, we have to start leaning on each other. We have to start loving on each other more. Um, in this situation, um, her own sister put her out. Um, and it's sad. It's sad. Um, there's things that we can do to intervene when it comes to drug abuse, when it comes to alcoholism, when it comes to battered women. There's organizations, and there's some good organizations out there that will help and they will intervene. Um, and for us, Elevate Life, on top of loving our youth and helping our youth, um, we don't want to see anybody left behind. Um, it's crazy, it's because we, how can I put this? We see a loved one going through um, um, something, and I was talking to the chief operating officer of one of these organizations, and he said something to me because I made a statement, and that statement was, "Everyone doesn't want to be helped." And he stopped me and corrected me. He said, "It's not everyone wants to be helped. It's that everyone wants to be helped in their way." And he has a good point. Is because they want help, but they want help on their terms, or they want help their way. And if that was the case, then they wouldn't be in the position that they are in. So when they come to us and we have detailed steps that we take to get them help, um, they have to understand your way didn't work the first time, but let's try this new way. So the next time you see somebody out there that is homeless, that is on drugs, that is um, alcoholics, things of that nature, learn about them, find out more about them, because that one voice um, that they've heard so many other people say, your voice might be the voice that they've been waiting for, because they are really trying to, they really do want to get help. Um, that's, there's another young man that has been brought to my attention, that so many people, like so many people have came up to him and talked to him, that's made contact to him, that um, that he doesn't he's not listening to that voice. But I've located him. I've talked to him. We've had some good conversations. We're, you got to build up that trust. And I believe that I'll be able to get this young man off the street. And he's sleeping out on the street. So that's, and now we have somebody on the east side. So I need to find out, get more information about that one. But you have to build up that trust, because because they didn't listen to anybody else, you might be that one person that they listen to.
Wow. Wow. It, um, I'm just getting a text now with 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 some information. Yeah. Hmm. So, with this, have you all been able to get her assessed for mental illness or anything?
Yes. So when we intervene and we locate this person that's in need, we have them fill out a form. So we have a form that they fill out. It's like a questionnaire, and we ask them different types of questions. And during that time of us questioning, we're watching them and assessing them, like, if there's any other needs that they need. Um, just for, and I'm gonna just use the name Miss Pat, because that's who I've been using. I've been using that name for her throughout all this social media um, follow-ups that people are asking about. We'll just call her Miss Pat. Miss Pat has, our very first thing was we had to get her off the street. So we got her a safe shelter. So we got her off the street. Then we need to make sure that we look at to see if she has any medical needs, if she needs to go to the hospital, if she needs to go to um, what's the other place, Dr. J, that doesn't have it's not an emergency.
Urgent care.
Urgent care, if they need to go to urgent care.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, she needed to go to the hospital because we needed to get her blood pressure checked,
Mm-hmm.
because of she hasn't been taking her blood pressure meds. And
Mm-hmm.
then during that, we'll talk to them about depression. If do you feel like if you want to harm yourself, suicidal, and then there is organizations out there that will take deal with that type of illness.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, we are going to get her some psychiatric help. And with her, that's a good question with this person, is because when we mention a counselor or a psychologist or a therapist, they instantly shut down. I don't want to tell nobody my story. I don't want to keep repeating myself. And then so you have to, again, build that relationship with that person and let them know, look, counseling is good, because we might be able to get you on some medications for depression, anxiety, whatever you're going through. But you need to, you need to speak to someone. So we've been trying to get her to therapy or psychologist since we found her. Now she is willing to go. So I will contact one of the local mental health clinics here in the town, in Hendricks County,
Mm-hmm.
and she has agreed. She has agreed to go now because she knows the importance of seeing a psychologist or a therapist or some type of counseling.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Encourage them as
Lady
well.
C says, encouraging them as well, sipping simple things, trying to get them out of the house, taking care of their hygiene, etc. Yes. Um, with this young, give me 1 second, Dr. J. Let me put Amanda C. Can y'all keep my GG in prayers? Doctors this whole time said it was back, giving her all the pain, and come to find out that is not what it is. Two muscles in her butt that is torn. Yes, we'll definitely keep your GG in prayer, Amanda. Um, what I was getting ready to also say is hygiene. Hygiene is very important. This elderly lady, she's been homeless since June of 2021. Um, you've been homeless that long, you start not to worry about hygiene. So they have to be retrained, Dr. J, that you got to take showers every day, or you got to take a bath. You got to brush your teeth every day. You have to comb your hair. This is the reason why it's important to comb your hair. This is the reason, why you put lotion on. And this is the reason why you go outside and get fresh air and not just sit in the house, or, just sit in a room 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This This has been one. It's not even been one. This is the biggest, most challenged mission that Elevate Life has been on. We have learned so much. This is the third person that we have helped um, save from the streets, from homelessness. Um, but this one, um, we have learned so much. We have learned what to say and what not to say. We have learned how to build the friendship, how to build the trust. Um, and you know, you have to make them feel very important. They're very important, so you have to love on them, or they'll turn their backs away, and the trust is gone.
That's true. Definitely true. Well, I'm glad that you all were able to that people were positioned where they were
Yes,
to get the information and then to be able to relay it to you, so that you all could, Elevate Life could definitely step in and do what needs to be done to help make her life better, to help make her life better. I pray that she will continue to move forward. I pray that she will allow the help that people are offering her, and continue to reach out to those that will help her, but yet also help her to become self sufficient.
yes,
Because the last thing that what ends up happening sometimes in these cases, that people become dependent on, on others, and so because there's a fear, because if they may have, maybe they were independent at one point, and then something occurred, a situation, a circumstance happened in their life that now has threatened their independency or what have you. So agencies sometimes, and people helping sometimes, become codependents. So you have to be mindful and make sure that you're concentrating on them being independent,
yeah,
of, of what and how to handle certain situations, and, and circumstances, and make some issues come from bad decision making. Learn to make better decisions, and then recognize, which is really hard for some people, most people rather, if they feel as though there is something wrong with them mentally. That's one of the hardest things, to get people to recognize or ask for help, because there's such a stigma of people needing mental health, and a stigma to mental health, that that's why a lot of things that happen, we want to look at people, they're just bad people, or what have you. But when you look at the whole situation, there may be some mental illness there, and so we have to be able to identify that and recognize that as we go forth in helping people, that we make sure that it is discussed about their mental health. They may not want to accept it, they may not want to, right now, say that they need it, but yet that's something that needs to be talked about, and need to be talked about at length with them, because 9 times out of 10 they have they have um, been to counselors, therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, and something has happened that they, one, didn't like what they said, or didn't want to accept what they said, and they figured that because mental illness is not a pain per se, like when you get a headache, you feel that. When you get a stomach ache, you feel that. But mental illness is not a pain like that. So therefore, they think that they can handle it themselves and think differently. If I think differently, if I act differently, but if there is an issue there, then they need to be able to speak with someone that can help give them the tools needed for them to be able to be successful, even with having a mental illness, once it's, properly diagnosed. So that is very much needed. It's very much needed. And we find, especially like in cases where we see where there have been people that have been harmed by by police or what have you, if the police officers or whatever, and I recognize that they go in with the thought something going wrong, and if the person has a gun, I get all of that. But we all need to be trained better and able to recognize some of the symptoms, some of the signs of a mental illness, psychotic moments, just, needing somebody at that time just to listen to them. And yet I understand, that the police have to also take into account the surroundings, the people themselves, all of that. So mental illness is a very, very, very prominent issue now, especially with the pandemic and not knowing and hearing all different reports, all this and that and the other. So we have to be able to recognize this sometimes and not react. If we can recognize that it's amazing that we're even talking about this. Good morning, Pastor Wilford. How are you?
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
We got to get you back. We got to get you back on the show. But I was watching a show on Thursday night, Station 19, and they were actually doing role play of people having some type of mental issue. And they came up on a situation. We miss you too, Pastor. We're going to get back with you.
Yes.
That there was a young man who was having some issues. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he was diagnosed with autism of some kind. And the officer was able to go on the bus because the situation took place in a city bus, and he was able to, like you said, Gary, gain his confidence. He had an issue with people touching him, and so the officer, actually the paramedic, he had to be creative in trying to help this young man. So in that, he got the confidence and the trust of the young man. And he was telling them people being mean to him and different things like that, but yet he had a major cut on his hand that he needed help with. And in gaining his confidence and trust, he was able, he told the paramedic that he can get, some things to help him. But what the paramedic actually did, because the person did not like being touched, he gave him the things that he needed, the antiseptic to clean, the bandages, the gauze, gave him. And he sat there and he went through the steps with this young man. And, where he cleaned it, he put the antiseptic, then he showed him how to wrap it. And so as he did that, the young man was mimicking him and copying him, that at the end, he was able to get him off the bus and get him into the ambulance. Now, yes, that was TV, but yet that's more to real life
Yeah.
than anything else.
Yeah.
And had this young man had not gone through, the paramedic had not gone through this training of working through and understanding, it could have turned out bad. But this was, a success story. And so I just think that in all of this, what Elevate Life just did this week is, amazing. But we have to also keep in mind, we have to be able to understand the issues of the people, and try to recognize and identify, are they having a psychotic break? Are they, what type of mental illness do they have? Because 9 times out of 10, they know what their diagnosis is. And because they feel that they can handle things on their own, they may stop taking their medication, or something has just overwhelmed them and maybe they don't recognize. So then
Right.
that's
Right.
where Elevate Life and other ministries and other resources come into play to help recognize what these other things are, to help people.
Yeah. Yeah. And the more that you build that relationship with that person, the more that you sit there, you talk to them, things slowly start coming out.
Mm-hmm.
They'll talk to you. They'll let you know, they'll let you know their whole life story. They'll let you know, most of the time, they'll tell you the reason why they're not taking their meds,
Yeah.
or if they can't get their meds,
Right.
or if they hit a hardship, or they're like, I went to the doctor and they put me on these new meds and I don't like my new meds.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to build that relationship. You got to get that person, that other person to trust you.
True.
And it took, and from, if I said anything about a psychologist or a therapist or a counselor on Sunday, that person would have shut down quickly.
Right.
It took a whole week to get them to identify, or not to identify, but to accept, you know what? I think I should go see a psychologist or a therapist. I understand the importance of it now. So now I have that relationship built with her, that we can walk into that mental hospital, or that mental facility, and she'll accept it, or he'll accept it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where, you know, um, because you can't be living on the street and don't say that don't you don't need a psychologist or a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole new world out here. Um, that's a lot of mind changing. That's a lot of, you know a lot of things that when you're sleeping out in the elements, you can't sit up here and tell me that that's not playing with your mental state.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but there's resources out here for them to get low cost or um, free help
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to mental health. So, I'm just happy that now when I call and schedule this appointment with one of my resource officers, um, that I could say that we're going to be there and not have to take a chance. I don't know if we're going to be there, or if I don't, you know, now I can say, yes, we will be there. So,
Wow.
um,
That's good.
it's, I thank God, just for everything he has done. I thank God for the people that he surrounded me with this week.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely could not do it without my wife. My wife stood up. She was doing a lot of some front end work while I was working some things on the back end,
Mm-hmm.
and vice versa. She was doing some stuff on the back end while I was doing some stuff on the front end.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was very fast paced. We had to move fast, uh, because we did not want her to think that here's another broken promise that somebody's made.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to come through it. So, for the ones that reached out to me, um, directly and helped, thank you. But I do want you to know that we will help anyone, that we can. Um, we will help anyone, that, is in need, um, especially when it comes to, domestic violence, drug abuse, alcoholism. Um, we do have the resources now. So I do have my resource my resource my resource manual, um, and then also I have some direct emails and direct telephone numbers to some amazing directors, CEOs, chief operating, officers, um, executives, of other great organizations, because, um, you don't know, so many times, um, and this was not a Facebook thread. This was on the Nextdoor app thread. So many times, people are so quick to say, "Well, take them over to the shelter. Take them to the shelter. Take them to the shelter." Let me explain something to everyone. Everyone that lives in Indianapolis, there is only 3 shelters in the Marion County and the connecting counties of Marion County that will accept single men and women. That's it. There's only 3 shelters that will accept single men or women. And those become full before you even pick up the phone. There's more shelters for domestic violence. There's more shelters for families, here in the city of Indianapolis, Marion County, and the connecting counties of, Marion County. There's more shelters for families. They take priority of domestic violence, folks, and then also, families. But there's only 3 shelters for single people. 3. And those beds fill up before you even pick up the phone. So, um, that's when we start voting, we need to start asking the hard questions. We need to make sure, um, we start asking the hard questions, especially when it comes to, homelessness, um, racism, um, we're getting these drugs off the streets. Domestic violence is huge. Domestic violence has been swept under the doormat, and now they are starting the news people are starting to really, broadcast it more. But domestic violence is huge, huge, both men and women. Um, but this is the stuff we have to get surfaced.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. I had no idea which way this was going to go today. Had no idea. But I
Yeah.
think that this has good information has gone out. People know now that they can reach out to Elevate Life and get the help and the resources that they need to help them be successful uh, in just about any situation that they're in. If they are, seeking, if they are seeking the help. So it's good to know that Elevate Life Ministries is out there. And anyone that's listening, if you have a ministry or a resource that can be added, that we here on Morning Coffee with the Word can use to help other people, please reach out to us. We don't know everything. We don't know everybody. I know I can say that I'm not from here, so I don't know the ins and outs. But listen, I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to listen. So if there's somebody out there that's listening that knows of resources for mental illness, for domestic violence, for any kind of abuse, elderly abuse, what have you, child abuse. We know we can call the Department of Child Services for that. You can do that anonymously to if you suspect there's some type of abuse. But if you have any information, phone numbers, contacts of people that can be used for Elevate Life Ministries and anyone, please reach out to us here at Morning Coffee with the Word.
Yes.
And the email is mcwaw@elevatelife.tv. That's our
Yes.
email address. And get with us, get us the information so that we can have the information not only for others that call in, but for ourselves and helping other people.
And then before we go off the air, Dr. J, I do want to say that we are in need of private landlords, private investors that have houses, that have homes up for rent, that are willing to open up um, and rent out um, their houses um, to um, to some of them. Um, we had a young lady that left a domestic violence situation in the middle of the night with nowhere to go. Um, and those people don't have nowhere to go but to a hotel. But now they're trying to find housing, things of that nature. So if you know any landlords, or if you are a landlord, or if you know any investors that rent out property, please have them contact me directly. You can give them that email address, and that email will get to me. But we are, or uh, if you know anybody with multi units, that is low income, low income based housing, that are willing to, rent. I'm not saying give everything for free. I'm not saying that. Free still has a cost. Please believe that. Free still has a cost. The only thing I'm asking is we just need to housing where we can place the ones that reach out to us. Um, I'm not going to talk about this week. I need to get with you, Dr. J, because I believe this one might be a good connection with you. Um, but
Okay.
I talk to you off the air about that one.
Okay.
Um, but thank you, everyone. I had to come on the air today and say thank you. Um, your generosity, y'all's generosity does not go unnoticed. And I pray that God blesses each and every one of you 100 times. Just continue to do what you do. Um, Ministry's not free. If anybody does want to donate to Elevate Life, you can via three ways. You can donate to Morning Coffee with the Word at $MCWAW. $MCAW, or you can donate via Cash App to Elevate Life at $Elevate Life LYFE, or you can donate via credit card, PayPal at paypal.me/Elevate Life ELEVATELYFE. But I thank each and every one of you. Dr. J, I thank you for just being a blessing in my life, for allowing me to sit next to you on Morning Coffee with the Word. This is Dr. J, I could say, is one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. She encouraged me to get on Morning Coffee with the Word. I was just sitting behind the scenes running the audio board. It was her and Jackie that was doing their thing. And I said, I'm not saying nothing. Slowly but surely, Dr. J just kept bringing the mic closer to closer and closer. But I thank Dr. J for doing that, because it feels so good doing the work of the Lord, and just having good people around you, good people surrounding you. Also, to my pops, Bishop Rodney Phillips Sr., for just taking my arm, wrapping his arms around mine, and showing me the ropes and teaching me how to do ministry the right way. But Dr. J, I see you next week, Lord's willing. And
yes.
And if anybody needs to email us at mcwaw@elevatelife.tv. Dr. J, if you could pray us out, and then also can you say a special prayer for Amanda C?
Yes. Father God, we thank you for this day, oh God. We thank you for the show. We thank you for our listeners, oh God. We thank you, oh God, for just being you, God. Now, God, we ask that as we've talked about some hard subject matters here on today, oh God, I ask that you would prick the hearts of your people to want to help, oh God. In the name of Jesus, we lift up right now, oh God, Amanda's grandmother, oh God.
Yes,
Lord God, we ask that you would send doctors who know exactly what's going on and what needs to be done, oh God. We know you to be a healer. I'd like to lift up right now my cousin Blair, who on just the other day had a heart attack, oh God. I thank you for his life. I thank you for sparing his life. I thank you for his wife, for being who she is, to notice that something was wrong and took care of her husband and made her husband go into the hospital. I lift up my little nephew, Noah, oh God, that he had to have his tonsils out, but because of his breathing issues, oh God, he had to go to the children's hospital there in Chicago. God, I know you to be a healer. I know that you can, God. So I'm asking you to heal all the names that have been called out today, and those that we don't know, oh God. We ask that you would meet them at every point of your need. We thank you for this platform that you've given us, oh God, to share with your people, to share a word of God, of your goodness, your grace, and your mercy. And God, we'll forever give your name the glory, the honor, and the praise. It's in your son Jesus' name that we pray. You're listening and watching Morning Coffee with the Word. I'm Dr. J.
And I'm the president.
And we will see everybody next week.
Bye-bye. I love you, Dr. J.
Bye-bye. Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's go. Yeah.